Being an amazing product marketing leader doesn't happen by chance. It happens by habit. Product marketing certified leadership has been built on the back of decades worth of experience from some of the world's best known brands with one goal in mind: helping you be the best leader you can be. Crammed with real life case studies, over 12 hours worth of content, templates, exams, and more, this course is everything you need to lead with authority, confidence, influence, and innovation. Every piece of material within the 7 modules and 29 chapters has been vetted, tested, and approved by senior level product marketers from companies like Amazon, Uber, and HubSpot, serving up game-changing insights throughout. By the time you've wrapped up the final module, you'll be able to define what it takes to be a great product marketing leader, build and scale your team, understand how to successfully manage your existing team, use methods for leveraging data, know how to become the voice of the customer, understand how teams work cross-functionally, and improve your strategic thinking. The beauty of the course is you'll have the freedom to work your way through the modules at a pace to suit you. It's 100% self-paced. You'll even get lifetime access to the curriculum, paving the way for refresher sessions forevermore. Visit productmarketingalliance.com to get leadership certified and spearhead your journey to the top.
Hi, welcome, and thank you for joining me here today at the Product Marketing Alliance Festival on how to deploy a data-driven GTM strategy and accelerate your growth. Thrilled to have you with me here today, and I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. I'm Anu, Head of Product Marketing at Squadcast and a PMA Ambassador. I'm excited to share with you a few insights and experiences that I have learned over the years on how to deploy a data-driven GTM strategy and accelerate your growth. The insights will help you understand tools and methods that have helped me over the years, which I'm hoping would be helpful for you as well, regardless of the company size or the stage of growth you are at. Before we begin, I would like to give you a little bit of an introduction about myself and some context to today's topic. A product marketer at heart, I strongly believe in combining data with creative aspects of marketing to lead product innovation, demand generation, and creating compelling brand experiences. Throughout my career, I've been fortunate to have been given a lot of responsibility ranging from global sales enablement to driving both go-to-market motions as well as product-led growth. And throughout this presentation, I'll share some key data-centric concepts that I have picked up while working at some of the most fast-paced companies in the marketing technology space. And these principles have really shaped my view on how to scale GTM efforts powered by data that works in your favor. But before we begin, let me reassure you of something. Building a data-driven GTM strategy might sound intimidating, but strip all the jargon and immediately all the strategies will sound familiar to you as a marketer. I'll admit, building a data-driven strategy is a vast topic, certainly enough to warrant a complete guide. So I've made the best effort to present the data-driven approach in the simplest way possible. And hence, we would be covering these key things in today's session. Steps to building a data-driven GTM strategy. What are the tools that can potentially help you build a data-driven stack? And the key results you will achieve with data-driven GTM strategy. Let me first walk you through the steps to build a data-driven strategy. As we all know, in today's always-on digital world, there are thousands of touch points that can define a customer's journey in discovering and using a product or service. Everything we do as marketers must be informed by data, even how we define and package our businesses, including product market fit decisions. This is where developing a data-driven GTM comes into picture and helps to identify your core competencies, develop your market and buyer definitions, your positioning and messaging, and packaging appropriately. So the first step here is to gather quality data. Now, this might sound more like an obvious point, but the ground reality is more often than not, teams struggle with poor quality data, which results in them targeting the wrong people. Just think about it. In a day, how many irrelevant messages, email do you receive from products or services that are probably nowhere even related to your intent for purchase? Now, beyond understanding your industry and defining criteria for your market, you want to even collect data that will uncover who is buying your product. More importantly, you want to unearth what motivates their decision making. This means quantifying your buyer persona. You guessed it right, that again with data. And the third step is discovering customer pain points. As you can see, this is a continuous process where each step's output feeds into the next step. The more customer pain point you find, the more quality data you collect, that in turn can potentially help you quantify your buyer persona. Now let's see how we can successfully execute each of these steps, shall we? Gathering quality data. Customer data is deemed to be a precious commodity, but its true value can only be determined once it's put to test. So many brands have massive databases that look impressive, but on closer inspection contain out-of-date or even irrelevant information, which leads to a lot of marketing communication misfires, targeting people with incorrect or untimely advertising. So the first step is obviously determine your goals. Before you even start collecting data, know what data is worth collecting. Brands use market intelligence data to guide decision-making in all areas of their businesses, from product development to marketing campaigns to their entire go-to-market strategy. At this point, you need to understand your goals across your GTM motions, which means a thorough understanding of your business goals, which can evolve over time based on the maturity of your product or service. What value does your product or service bring to the market? How is it different from your competitors? What kind and amount of data defines your ideal customer profile or ICP? These are some of the areas where you can determine what types of data can have a positive impact on your marketing strategy, leave data that won't be used to improve the effectiveness of your strategy behind, and focus on gathering data around your key KPIs that can really move the needle. Again, this might sound like an obvious point, but if you aren't careful, you can literally get pulled into a never-ending wormhole of data points if you're not clear on your goals. The next step is creating a data strategy. So at this stage, you will typically take care of the three things: setting objectives, finding the right tools for the data that you intend to collect, and integrating all the data. When it comes to setting objectives, use what you know and set measurable goals, be it at the top of the funnel, the middle, or the bottom. Take your time and find the right software for your business. It's critical to have the right tools at hand that translate your needs into actions. What's the point in having a magic wand without knowing how to cast a spell, right? So we will be covering few examples of tools for your data-driven tech stack later in our discussion and integrating all this data. At Squadcast, we pride ourselves in being a highly data-driven product marketing team. So at the beginning, while putting together our data strategy, it definitely needed some patience. It hurts to tell you something so obvious, but getting the data you need and creating value from it is an inherently difficult process. Research says 70% of CEOs see analytics as key for their success, but only 25% agree on the fact that they are in a good position to extract insights from their data. This gap shows that ambition and business reality are not aligned. Be an example when it comes to thorough analysis, set realistic goals, and give your team the confidence to experiment, learn, and optimize their analytics routine. Your team will thank you with new methods of data exploration and fresh results. The next step is to identify your KPIs. Evaluate your data against your KPIs, and you can start using that data to drive your marketing strategy. Determine how you will measure your key performance indicators. Say, for instance, in your case, what defines a lead? What agreed action items are required upon creation of a lead from both, say, sales and marketing? What strategies are in place to nurture, convert, qualify, and close those leads? Here again, don't settle for your beloved KPIs. Explore new ways to evaluate the success of your campaigns. Next, measure performance and monitor metrics on an ongoing basis. When in doubt, at this juncture, collect more data that you think you might need. The last step is evaluate your performance and adjust as necessary. Use your data to check your performance on a regular basis and always be on the lookout for false assumptions. make a note to be prepared to make adjustments to your tactics based on your results. Take an example of your positioning statement. How do you train your site on just the right messaging for your audience? By launching several variations of your messaging and highlighting different unique selling points or use cases accordingly, you can select which approach will perform the best. This is where data comes in again. Test a message's effectiveness using conversion rate optimizations. CROs typically involve generating ideas for elements on your site or app that can be improved, then validating those hypotheses through A/B testing and multivariate testing. We like to leverage the A/B methodology at Squadcast. This allows us to launch at least 2 versions of a copy for our customers and track how successful each variation was in converting the reader. Now, at this stage, there is a key point for you to remember. Accurate, up-to-date quality data ensures your teams are creating data-driven marketing aimed at the right people, resulting in faster growth for your organization. So as you can see, it starts with the definition of your goals and continues with asking the right questions. I would also like to highlight one key learning here. This step of gathering data will always be a continual improvement process, and you'll see why in the next upcoming slides. So the next step in defining your data-driven GTM strategy is quantifying your buyer persona. Assigning numeric values to human experience sounds odd, but trust me, it's quite doable and very effective if you leverage what we call as a propensity model. Propensity by definition means an inclination or natural tendency to behave in a particular way. Propensity modeling is the application of mathematical models to historic data to try and predict whether some will take a particular action. In other words, it's a way of identifying who among your customers is most likely to make a specific action, whether it is to make a purchase, accept an offer, sign up for a newsletter, participate in survey, or even for the matter of fact, churn. It is complementary to segmentation, but different. When segmenting, you're ideally clustering your customers based on shared traits and behaviors. In marketing, propensity modeling goes a step beyond segmentation by focusing on likely behavior or action. Where segmentation provides insight into customer behavior, propensity modeling provides foresight. It allows you to target customers based on likely behavior as opposed to past behavior. Today, most of your custom audience tools come with some form of lead scoring that you can use it for your benefit. Such insights help develop personalized marketing strategies for highest possible return on investment. With the prevalence of custom audience tools in just about every platform, I'm sure most marketers have at least some experience with modeling, even if they are not aware of this key term. Now let's look into how to build an effective propensity model. Using a propensity model to build a persona usually starts by segmenting your current customers, assigning scores to key characteristics, and then applying the data to a certain industry or market. This initial work allows you to gauge how well received your product or service will be in said market or industry. Now, the model is only as good as data. Demographic, psychographic, transaction, personality data are usually the sources to train your propensity model. So the first party data that you're collecting is nothing but the information generated and collected about your customers or audience from your website via cookies, CRM, customer feedback, social platform, apps, or any other information given with the consent of customers. First-party data typically consists of your customers' historic transaction information, previous website visits, lifetime value, and brands are typically the owners of this data. Now, you can also develop second and third-party relationships on your own or work with data tools that open up access to other brands and unique data sets. This data is used to give you deeper insight into your audiences. It can be used for more targeted advertising. Until you combine all your data, you cannot truly claim a 360-degree view of your customer base. Once the model is built, the most difficult part of the project is always validating the data model. For a propensity model to be truly successful and with an impactful ROI, it must be dynamic, scalable, and have provision to run regular data checks. What I mean by being dynamic is the model in itself becomes smarter and more accurate as it evolves with trends in data. As a result, brands should have a pipeline of data to retrain the model on a regular basis. The model must also be capable of producing large numbers of predictions available in real time and easily adaptable across other scenarios. A good propensity model must also have regular data ingestion, validation, and deployment. This means the model can deliver predictions that are relevant, actionable, and enables evaluation of the model performance and accuracy. The data modeling are only half the battle though. Once the propensity segments have been identified, you will have to decide how to strategically activate and communicate with each and when. Take the time to map out creative assets and workflows that will help maximize each segment with these defined targets, with in-house analytics or predictive modeling. Now let's see how propensity modeling can help you. We've used propensity modeling to assign propensity scores to each website visitor. Now the score indicates how likely customers are to convert, register, subscribe, etc. With these data points and insights, we can even create targeted campaigns that can help increase conversion rates. Propensity models can predict the likelihood that a customer will convert with a specific product or item. Dynamic content can create unique user experiences tailored to what your customers are likely to purchase, improving engagement, increasing conversion rates, and increasing customer loyalty. A propensity to churn model would predict how likely a customer is to leave and identify customers who are at risk. Brands can use this information to create custom campaigns for at-risk customers. This might include phone calls or personal touchpoints that would help secure and maintain customers. And lastly, it can also help decrease expenses. Propensity modeling also helps brand determine who to target and how, which can help reduce expenses. Propensity model can identify those customers who will react to a specific offer. So a targeted email campaign could be sent to users with high propensity to convert with this particular offer and decrease expenses by not spamming the whole customer base with irrelevant emails. Propensity modeling is an exciting and powerful way to go beyond basic platform-based lookalike tools. It will require some additional planning and resources, but when used correctly, it can deliver results that will make it a go-to in your toolkit. Now, let's see what is the third step in the data-driven GTM strategy, which is discovering customer pain points. Most prospects today begin their buyer journey or at least preliminary research because of business-related issue they would like to be solved. And the key to understanding that a specific problem entails to simply ask about it. You need to appeal to prospects' needs and wants based on customer pain points. And customer pain points can generally be split into 4 different categories. It can be productivity related, financial, processes related, or support related. And I know it seems crazy in this day and age of automation and intent signals, which can also give you a good idea of what people are searching for and the questions they are asking. But engaging with in a conversation and connecting with people is key to understanding what they actually want. So how you can identify customer pain point is through surveys. Survey and interviews are a great way to obtain current customer, prospect information in regards to what their problems are and how they would like it to be solved. Here are a few open-ended questions that you can potentially ask. Why isn't your current solution working for you? What do you wish it was doing better? What are the biggest challenges you're currently facing? After gaining useful information from these conversations, you can start to build messaging around your product and frame it in a way that specifically addresses the concern of prospective customers. You can also choose to conduct qualitative sales research. Here, a great resource that is always available to marketers are your own sales team. Sales teams spend the whole day determining and trying to find customer pain point in order to pitch the product to them. So turning to your own sales folk to identify patterns and trends is a great way to gain some insight into the minds of customers without having to wait for customer feedback. And finally, using intent signals. When a buyer has a pain point, they typically do some preliminary research on how they can fix it. They visit websites, read articles and blog posts, download ebooks or white papers, raking up a lot of digital footprints that you can then track using intent signals. What's more, using intent signal allows you to reach buyers earlier in the sales process, putting you ahead of the competition. And this is one of my favorite way to gauge customer pain point. There are scores of tools in the market that can help you identify intent signal tools like Lead Feeder, Zoom Info, G2, Bambora, etc. Now, once you solve the pain points, you can see the results in revenue. At the end of the day, buyers make purchasing decisions because they have a problem that needs solving, which is why solving pain points should be at the core of everything your marketing and sales team do. Once you've identified your customers' more pressing pain points, you can start to tailor your messaging and make it clear that what you have to offer could really help them in their day-to-day. Because while you're selling products, you are really selling non-material solutions. Now let's look at some of the data-driven marketing tools that can be used to build a data-driven stack. So in this section, I'm quite excited to share with you the numerous marketing tools that are out there that can help you as a data-driven marketer. Tools that can help you gather customer insights and boost your performance. And typically you can categorize these tools into advertising tools, your SEO tools, customer interaction tools, analytical tools, etc. And here's an interesting fact. So in 2020, the marketing technology landscape saw a growth of 13.6% and a total of 8,000 solutions for each type of marketing data. The figure here depicts a generic model of sources and tools that can be used to design a modern marketing analytics stack. And it's a combination of data sources, data integration tools, data warehouses, your data visualization tools, and in some cases, even AI ML tools. The interconnection between all these technologies drives data analytics and helps marketer gain valuable customer insights. A variety of options are available in the market today across each category of tools and data sources. Once all the tools are set up between the source and the destination, the analytics stack will become complete. So as you can see in this slide, there are some well-known names, your award-winning visualization software Tableau, probably the prettiest visual analytics tool. One of my favorite is Google Data Studio, which is pretty powerful and quite easy to create dashboards and reports. Now, the choice of tools solely depends on the business goals of the organization. Technology is increasing, proving its worth as a valuable tool for marketers and salespeople alike. That said, it won't do all the work for you. To get the most of the tools on offer, you need to apply some strategic thought and really get to know your customers. With that, we covered all the steps that is needed to set up your data-driven GTM strategy in motion. And here are the key results that you can achieve with this exercise. You now have, you can have more targeted insights into who, what, and why of your buyer and user personas, a greater accuracy when defining target markets, a stronger competitive edge, and better performance on all campaigns. By implementing a data-driven strategy, identifying target buyers becomes streamlined. This means engaging with them becomes easier since you have a better idea of what they want, even what they need from a solution by leveraging the information to drive your product decisions. So with that, I'm going to wrap up this session. And here are some parting final thoughts. Making your GTM strategy data-driven, it further helps pinpoint target audiences who will most likely buy your solution. The more data-driven your GTM strategy is, the easier it is for you to track success and leverage automated workflows that can turn prospects' intent into action. Data-driven marketing allows marketers to connect with customers at the right time and with the right offering at that. And with the right data, marketers can achieve almost anything they wish. Assess customer data to predict behaviors, identify buying patterns, predict interest, spot emerging trends, and so on. And the best part of all this is to use the data to enhance your creativity and risk-taking, because after all, our job is a creative one. So crunch those numbers to your benefit. And thank you so much for joining the session today. I hope you had definite takeaways from this session. And if you feel like sharing ideas and chatting with me, you can reach out to me via LinkedIn. Thank you so much. Have a good day.